Alright people, so you've read the title, right? So let's talk about these two bad boys right here, the Q1 Pro and the Q5 Pro from EPZ. Both the brand and these IEMs are pretty new to me and I'm trying these out for the very first time. But I have to say that these guys offer so much more than what is otherwise mentioned in their boxes right here. Of course, there are some caveats as well that we have to address, right? Especially when we talk about the more expensive one right here. So let's cut the chase and take an in-depth look at both these IEMs. Now both these IEMs come under the 5,000 Indian rupees price mark, which is around $60 US. But in terms of accessories, I think they are pretty limited in that aspect. The fabric pouch of the Q1 Pro and the hard case of the Q5 Pro are the only ones that seem noteworthy to be mentioned right here, because the other ones are quite limited, as you can see. Yeah, this is everything that you get inside these boxes. I know it's pretty boring, right? The shells, on the other hand, are definitely something to talk about right here. The Q1 Pros have your typical shell design, albeit with these very beautiful and eye-catchy designs on their faceplates. But on the other hand, the Q5 Pros have a much smaller footprint, which also are built out of hard resin, but these guys do come with metal on their faceplates. Now in terms of comfort and design, I personally like the Q1 Pro thanks to its much more conventional design, while the Q5 Pro kind of felt minuscule and much less ergonomic. And I should also mention here that I had to do a bit of a tip rolling with these IEMs because they didn't initially fit my ears properly and gave me that proper sealing. But that's maybe due to the fact that my ears are pretty large. So if you have smaller ears, I don't think these would matter that much, but yeah, something to keep in mind. So anyways, let's talk about the cables right here because this is the region where the Q5 Pro has actually disappointed me the most. This has to be one of the worst cables that you can get in an IEM at this price point. It's so thin and feels kind of flimsy even when compared to its younger sibling, the Q1 Pro. So the Q1 Pro is less expensive than the Q5 Pro but has the better cable. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, let's keep that to the side and let's talk about the sound quality right now because here's where things get a lot more interesting. Now both these IEMs are tuned to the Harman 2019 target, albeit with slightly different flavors added to each of them. So first let's talk about the Q1 Pro because here you get a bit of a boost in the upper mid-range and treble, and you'll find this sound signature kind of similar to the OG 7Hz Sal Note 0. So this IEM is definitely a bright sounding IEM, and I'm gonna say if you're someone who is upgrading from the 7Hz Sal Note 0 and you're trying to find an IEM with a similar sound signature, then this one should definitely be your pick. It's quite an excellent IEM if you're someone who listens to a lot of female vocals where you want that energy and detailed retrieval in the upper mid-range and the treble. Now in terms of the bass and the lower mid-range, the Q1 Pros I would say are pretty average and they follow the same characteristics of your typical Harman IEM, so nothing special to talk about right here. Although I would say in terms of detailed retrieval and resolution, these are technically way superior than say the Sal Note 0 for example. So these would make some really excellent gaming IEMs as well for people who are looking to play games and trying to find the pinpoint accuracy during gaming, especially when playing FPS titles. Next, if we talk about the Q5 Pro, this one comes with what I believe is a really well balanced sound signature. It's quite generous in terms of the bass and the lower mid-range, giving vocals that definition and the warmth, making them sound in general a lot better than the Q1 Pro in my opinion. You can definitely feel both the bass hits along with the rumble in the Q5 Pros, but that is only when you spend some time tip rolling like I mentioned earlier. And I also have to say here that these guys have a much larger soundstage when compared to the likes of say the Q1 Pro that we have right here. So if you're someone who listens to a lot of EDM or house music or pretty much any genre out there, then these IEMs should suffice you a lot. But that being said, this is definitely not for bass hits. Alright, so now is the fun part right here. So I've decided to give away one of these bad boys to one of you lucky guys out there, but I haven't yet decided which one yet. So this is where you guys come along and let me know in the comments down below which one would you pick if you are the winner. So at the end of 1 week after this video goes live, I'll pick a random winner and he or she gets to choose between the Q1 Pro or the Q5 Pro. But Rohit, what about the other IEM out of these two that won't be given away? Well, I will be listing it in my garage sale as usual, which is exclusive to all of my channel members. So if you're someone who wants to support me and my creativity like these awesome people right here, all you need to do is enroll in channel memberships by clicking on that join button right there, and you'll be eligible to place bids on any of the items that I have listed on my garage sale. Alright, so that's gonna do it for me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.